Hey, you guys, how's it going? I hope you can hear me. Let me see. How are you feeling tonight? Look, I beat the clock. I beat the clock, okay? I beat the clock tonight. Even though I got stuff everywhere. How you guys feeling tonight? Now I would mail her Ozempic. Yo, what's going on? Are you ready to be? Let's get into the drama. How we guys feeling tonight? What is this? How are we doing? What's new out there? I see you guys on YouTube. Hi. Say hello to me when you're getting here. You know, I got to start turning my phone off. What's going on with you guys tonight? What's new in your neck of the woods? It is Wednesday. Can you guys believe it? Oh, what? You here? You here? Hey, girl. Hey. Not you made it. Okay, Mr. CJ, you was tired. Oh, I'm tired too. You guys, I got some. We're gonna have a great conversation because you know what? And I'm glad that y'all are here and y'all have showed up because your guys' thoughts are really gonna be needed on this tonight. Okay, and y'all know we love when people act a fool on the internet and then they don't even know that they're acting a fool on the internet. Yeah, but then they act a fool on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So give me a moment to get it together. Okay, give me one moment, baby love. How are you guys feeling? What's up, everybody? Yes, CJ, welcome and join them in. You guys, we are here tonight. Make sure you guys share the show. Sharing is caring. You could send stars. You could show support by sharing the show. You could do all of that type of stuff. You could donate. Do whatever you feel like you want to do. That is on you. My YouTubers, if you are over here and you're on YouTube, please make sure that you are hitting that like button, the thumbs up button, and yeah, get into it. Okay. What's up? I want to know if we should do a poll. Let me see. Y'all know I like to do things and we like to do things together over here as a unit. So I want to know if I should do a poll. Tonight we're gonna just get into how attention is just seems to be the new drug, especially when people do things just to be entertained and for the internet, right? Y'all know I like to come here, I like to share things with you guys, and most of it is either my experience, conversations that I've had with people, or things that has happened. Hey, Andre, you've been showing off. Andre been coming up on you've been showing off coming up on Facebook. Okay. Andre used to be over there on YouTube. Didn't Andre used to be over there on YouTube? Now Andre coming over here on Facebook. I'm trying to think. Let me see, because I could just be lying on you and don't even know it. I think that's probably a learned behavior because a lot of that went on in the last 24 hours, 48 hours. How you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Andre over here. Okay, CJ. So, okay, it looks like you beat Sanara tonight. I don't see Sanara. So next week, you're gonna have to tell her. She might show up, but you beat her this week. Say hello to me, you guys, from out there. If you're on YouTube, say hi. Don't be afraid. How are we feeling before we get into it? So, you saw that Jay-Z had people in a frenzy. And it's funny because you never know how what goes on. Gotta. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You gotta. Ooh. Is I'm gonna be look at me. Is I'm gonna be messy and go tag her and say CJ. Is I'm gonna be messy today? Is I'm gonna be messy? We gotta start like, you know, when you wanna be messy, you gotta talk like the messy. Is I'm gonna go be messy and tag Sanera today? Ooh, should I tag her, y'all? Should I tag? Oh, okay. See, I love when a person comes front instead of talking about, yeah, do it. See, CJ standing on it. He said, do it. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and get my ads activated. Let me get my ads activated, y'all. And I just twisted my hair because I was like, I can't. I was going to wear it out, but it's still wet. I washed it. I just be doing too much. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think. Wait a minute. Where do she be at? Where do she be at? Does Sarah be on YouTube? Is I'm going to tag her on YouTube? Let me see if I can tag her on YouTube. Because Sanera be on YouTube. Like you said, yes. Oh, Andre. Wait a minute. As you answering my question. Oh, y'all, and I want to tell y'all something too. Because this little bit of nail polish will not come off my nails. I don't know what's going on, but maybe I'll review the product. Here lately, I have been taking these hair, nails, and skin vitamins. Black Girl Vitamins sent us a package, okay? And I am not really big on like vitamin taking and all of that other stuff. So, okay, you know what? This how you do it, right? This how I don't be messy, but I'm gonna get somebody else to be messy. Bonita, you got tag. Look, y'all see that? Look, she said, "Hey, y'all, you showed up." Bonita, you got tag. You got tag Sanera in the comments because CJ said he had something that he think that he might have wanted to say, and because I don't want to be expectatious. Wasn't that word last week? And I don't want to be expectatious and assumptuous. You know, you gotta go ahead and tag him because I think that's what he was trying to say. You gotta go tag him because I think that's what he was trying to say. I think that's what he was trying to say. So you telling me to take a witch hazel acetone didn't work? You know what? I didn't even try. I didn't even try because I was like letting it peel off on its own. But they sent us these vitamins, right? And these vitamins, y'all, I can't lie, they've been working. You know, and when people send stuff, I'm like, I'm going to use it because, you know, why not? You know how people give you something you say, oh, you're supposed to do this for 30 days and then you'll never finish it. You know what I'm saying? Or you stop or you forget it. Just like if you had to take birth control and then you stop taking a birth control pill, or you know how half of y'all do. You know, we go to the doctors, get an antibiotic, start feeling better in 48 hours. We no longer take the antibiotic when the doctor said finish this and for 10 days. Y'all know how we do. So that's what I call myself doing. And I have been consistently popping these vitamins. So they are hair, nails, and skin vitamins. Now, let me tell y'all, the problem is I keep biting the nails. So my point is it works. They've actually been working. Like my nails were longer than this, but I had bit them. I bit my thumb down this morning. And because the other things too, they kept getting snagged. So if you guys are looking for something, and my nails are actually hard, like, well, let's say strong, okay? They're stronger. So I was actually gonna go get them done, but I am like, yo, I don't want to mess up the nail. So maybe if I can find something that I can put on the nail that's not gonna cause the nail to mess up, then I'll go get it. You feel me? You feel me? If you feel me, you feel me. You feel me? Not gonna let me in. Okay, not Shirley. Y'all are irky. Okay, so let's get into it. How are we doing tonight? All right, you know, I love how things go on in the media because it always, like I was saying, like it always, there is a message in everything, right? And it always comes back like full circle, you know. This is why I be saying, yo, a lot of the stuff that we be seeing go on in the celebrity world, it really be going on in your world as well, but you may not be paying attention to it and stuff like that, right? So everybody, y'all seen this? Maybe some of y'all had, maybe some of y'all didn't. Oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be tagging Sanera, my bad. You know how everybody was upset because Jay-Z did an interview, right? And in this interview, look, I'm gonna tag him. I'm gonna say, Sanera, CJ talking about you. Look, CJ talking about you. All right, I did it. I did it. And you know how, look, y'all see it, Clint Sanera, CJ talking about you. And you know how everybody was upset because I guess Jay-Z went and did an interview. And on this interview, Jay-Z said he think battle rap should not be brought into the culture. It's stupid, X, Y, and Z, right? Did y'all see little clips of that? And so now, right, y'all tell me what y'all thinking if y'all think it backfired. So now he did his Roots Picnic little performance, right? He did his Roots Picnic freestyle. And in the freestyle, he basically addressed everybody who had something to say about him, right? Pay attention because there's a point. And so now everybody has, a lot of people already felt like he was a sellout and things of this nature. So now everybody is like, wait, you just did a video on an interview a week ago or some weeks prior saying battle rap is dead. You shouldn't do battle rap in music. There's no need for it, XYZ. And then you got on stage and performed a whole like 3-minute diss towards Kanye, Nicki Minaj, Drake, Dame Dash, Nicki Minaj's husband. I guess you want to include him. They were the 5 people that I caught. You know how, listen to me, they were the 5 people that I caught, right? And they were like, yo, this is battle rap. How do you just do and say you don't want to be, you don't think that, battle rap should be brought into music? There's no need to be dissing people. And bringing up people's kids. Did y'all see that? Are y'all familiar with that? So he was like, you shouldn't be, bringing people kids in it is too far. And, the kids was for Cardi B and Nicki. You know what I mean? So, but here it is. Cardi B had talked about like one of her fans' kids that passed away, called them a monkey and all this other stuff. So when her and Nicki Minaj got into it, Nicki Minaj talked about her daughter. It was like, yeah, her daughter had some, and it was just like, culture or whatever. You never feel bad. We all have been little where we had like big gums and little teeth or something, whatever. Just, she didn't lie because we all looked a little crazy when we were little. And she was like, and we all grow into them one day. I feel sorry for your mother because blah, blah, blah. So everybody was like, oh my God, Nicki Minaj brought up her kid. Nicki Minaj should have never brought up her kid. But everybody forgot about the fact that Cardi B talked about this lady's deceased children who like passed away or something just because she didn't agree with like one of her albums or something. I didn't see the interview, but he may have been talking about the actual face-to-face disrespect version, which is different than the diss track. Okay. And you know what? I love this comment too, CJ, because there is always one person that likes to show up and, give the benefit of the doubt. And tonight you have just deemed yourself, Mr. CJ 5060, as that 1 percentile. And you know what? Sometimes the 1 percentile make my ass itch. But yeah. So I didn't watch the whole interview at all. I just seen a little snippets. But I was like, you know what? That was rather interesting because y'all know this brings me to some recent events. So here recently there was like some things that transpired too on the internet. Well, scratch on, sister. No, because it's true. You always, people do like you always. They say you should always give somebody the benefit of the doubt, but then you have to also remember there's no benefit in doubt. You see that? The word play. You see that? There's no benefit in doubt, but you want to give people the benefit of doubt. So if you got any doubt, then don't nobody need the benefit. You feel me? So. And I just feel like that we just are now in the days where people like to pick and choose what's too far for the internet, what's not too far, what's off limits, what's not off limits. People like to start things and then when you finish them, or if you say something that like sting a little bit, it's like, oh, well, then you took it too far. But they never check the people who started it. Don't you get what I'm saying? Y'all following me? Right? And so with these recent events that happened, I was like, you know what? This is craziness. And then it spilled off where, we too have experienced it personally, right? So I said, well, why not come here and talk about it? Because the overall message that I've got out of everything that's going on is attention is the new drug. And people will do anything for it, And on top of that, you can't argue with a fool, you know? Like you can't go back and forth with a fool when they know when they don't know that they're a fool. Or you have people who like try to show up being so intelligent. Don't y'all hate that? Like somebody will show up trying to be so intelligent in the midst of, you know, the I don't want to say conflict. Let's say in midst of the disagreement. Yeah, yes, they would do it. You know, in the middle of a disagreement, they like to show up, right? And then speak and be loud and wrong, but not even knowing that they are proving your point. You know what I mean? That's why it's like, and tonight I'm going to discuss why we don't, attention is the new drug, and you don't ever want to argue with a fool because a fool don't know that they a fool. But sometimes a person will prove your point and they don't even know that they just proved your point, and they'd be like, oh, okay. But this is where you guys get to be the judge tonight. So I need you guys to pay attention, hear the details. If you need anything repeated, I'll repeat it 5 times. uh, all jokes aside, a few people don't like face-to-face battle rap no more because it goes beyond the normal diss track. Diss tracks don't usually turn violent. Battle raps easily go left. All of it go left. I mean, according to you, the culture, Biggie and Tupac got the beefing on diss records. I don't know. I don't know. I love battle rap. I feel like battle rap is a sport. You have Arsenal, who's known to be disrespectful. He can say anything. You have QB. She's known to be disrespectful and talk about people's children, whether they're alive, they're dead, whether they're big, they're small. She talks about mom. She does everything. So I don't know. You know, I think it depends on the style of the battle rapper because every battle rapper actually have different style. But meanwhile, Biggie even got into it and said, don't you know, see, this is what I'm saying. Don't you know me and my niggas kidnap kids, them in they ass and throw them over the bridge? Okay, he literally did a song about sexually assaulting children. He did a whole verse. Now, don't get me wrong, that song was fire. But, you know, when we thinking about it today, you know, what's too far? Is it too far when your feelings get hurt? That's what it seems to be. It's too far when your feelings get hurt or when your truth comes out or you don't agree with what's said. Like let's be real. Big and Tupac had no real beef. Pac assumed Big Guy robbed him and the industry gassed him up. Big never had intentions to beg with Pac, and those songs wasn't about Pac. I am not saying the song was. Whoa, that he did too respond to Pac when Pac said, "Nigga, f you and your B and Junior Mafia." Yes, he did respond to Tupac. See, now you getting me sidetracked, and you know I'm as a music junkie. That part, okay? He definitely said that in that song, right? So then you have where Partisan, right? When Partisan did his song responding to Meg the Stallion, right? Is that her name? I don't know. I don't listen to the lady. Meg the Stallion. What is her name? Meg the Stallion, right? When he made his song responding to her his record and was like, you know, you lied on your mom because y'all know her mother passed away. He was like, you know, you lied on your mother saying you ain't deal with these dudes. I know your mother is probably like turning in her grave, right? This is ridiculous, X, Y, and Z, whoop de whoop. Now he says this. He didn't say it in a derogatory way or anything like that. So Nicki Minaj then, y'all got to keep up. This is where Bigfoot comes in. Nicki Minaj then flips what he says on a song. He said it first. This is why I need y'all to pay attention to the details. He said it first. And all he said was like, yo, you lying on your mother and she passed away. Like, and next thing you know, after that, right? Nikki was like, you know, went and talked about how Megan slept with her best friend and was like, because you was lying on your dead mama, lying on your dead mama. Next thing you know, the internet went to uproar saying Nicki Minaj was talking about Megan Thee Stallion's mother who was deceased. Fans went to try to dig up the lady grave. Like, it was just this whole thing where it was like, Partisan said it, and Nicki just rebutted used it in a song on a diss record. But that's how stupid people do. So, what do you say? What I'm saying is, Big wasn't beef with him. It got played up in the industry heads, kill both of them. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like, nobody will ever. The only people who only know about that story are the people who were actually there. You know what I mean? Nobody really knows what happened. With the way all this stuff is going down in the industry, I don't believe not near none of them, if you ask me. And sometimes I think they all in cahoots to come together to get sales and records. We just had Lotto. Lotto went and took the Cardi B route. This go around with her album release and album rollout, and used her pregnancy to get her album sales. So it's like, it's crazy, so you'll just never know. So a lot of people close to them have been saying that for the same thing. Oh, okay. Well, tomato. But that was not the point of that. I don't care if Biggie and Tupac was beefing. I was just using them as an analogy. Thank you, Dr. Judge C.J. Brown. So it's stuff like that. And I really feel that we just live like, now people like to do things, and then when you pull a them on them, they don't like it. And that's something that I know, and that's something that I've learned, that's something that I've experienced, and then I just seen it here recently. So let me tell y'all about this. So this like 70-something-year-old man went on the internet recently and made a post about his family, one which included my mom, right? We all family. I like to be honest. He made a post about people owing him money, this, that, and the third, right? So he goes at 100 years old and makes this post, and he put like his children, his cousins, I don't know, all these other people. All I recognize was one name. You know what I'm saying? So, and needless to say, we go on, we do that, and it's just like, well, what is going on? And then when he did this, right, he got a response, right? But mind you, with the response that he got, see, this is the thing that gets on my nerves with people. And this goes to the Jay-Z's, the Lottos, the Cardis, the whoever is all on into the, who's ever all, exactly, Pops is tripping. Whoever is all involved in the internet thing. And so I'm just like, you know what? It's not just in the entertainment world. Yes, it's definitely with the everyday regular folk. But today, over the last couple of hours, like a couple of days, I learned that like the senior citizens do it too. So I'm like, damn. So it's like it seems like there is really like no more Big Mama. You know what I mean? Like Soul Food, when she wanted the family to all get along, when she was trying to do all of this. And so, you guys, this is where I like to vent. You guys, we are family, and it is what it is. And I don't post, and I don't delete, and I damn sure don't block. Okay. So here we go with that. So he makes this post, right? And I was like, okay, it had me feeling like 50 Cent and T.I. You know what I mean? When 50 Cent did what he did, right? And then everybody was like, them kids shouldn't have been responding. But then everybody was like, yo, that's their mother. You feel me? So it was like, okay, all right, cool. Mind y'all, my mother is hardly on the internet. My mother knew nothing about none of this stuff that has transpired in the last couple of days until it was brought upon her, right? And she'll probably kill me because she like, girl, why you mention me on the internet? But outside of that, he said, you're right. All the big mamas are gone. A lot of our elders are just like us now. Yeah, but hold on, CJ. And that is terrible. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You guys tell me, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because it's almost like now the millennial-ish, the ones who are like raised by like baby boomers, it's like now we have to be the ones to step up, to be the example, to lead by example, to be the mature ones, to be the, whatever, right? And I just think that is crazy. But that is so true. So this man, like 100 years old, he goes and he makes a post. Now, this is something that he does. He blasts his family all the time. Like, this ain't nothing new or whatever. And you usually pays it no mind, right? So then here we are. And let me know if you guys are keeping up. Oh, should we do a poll? Should I do a poll about it? I feel like that this is something that should be a poll. Should we do a poll about it or just rock out with our cocks out? It's not cute with the messy Marvins and Marvins. It's not cute at all. Girl, it is not cute at all. And then when you spank that ass, they tell you you're not being mature. You're right. So listen, let me tell y'all the story. Because I haven't had to do a personal story time. And when the last time we did a personal story time? I think season 2. Oh, now he need one of the robots so he can chill out. Oh, you talking about them sex robots. Pops need to bust a nut. Well, he's bust a lot of those. So listen. So he does this. He goes on his post and he does this, right? And this is just how stuff is. It's just messy. Right? I'm not a interner. You know we make up words here. I'm not an interner. An interner. Okay? Y'all call them Twitter fingers. I call them interners. No, we're gonna call them internet personalities. There are more internet personalities out here than a little bit. What 70, 90 to 100. He's either way, he's too old to be doing that, right? All right, so listen. So he makes this post. This post is up. Nobody wanted to go back and forth with this man on the internet, right? He was called about 5 million times. You know, and Kevin Gates said more than twice. If I ask you more than once, that's begging, right? He was called about 5 million times, right? He chose not to answer the phone, correct? He chose not to answer the phone. And then he answered the phone as if he didn't answer the phone and just let us hear his background, right? Because I'm like, hey, what's going on? Whatever. And then him and my mom, you know, they were like this. You know what I mean? She kept his secrets, whatever the case may be, X, Y, and Z, right? She did for him, they did for each other, whatever. And you know, he had his reads on in his text messages. So the text messages were also going through. This is why I say attention is a new drug. Now, for me, disclaimer, okay? What y'all do? What y'all do when y'all trying to get somebody and y'all can't get them? Do y'all just stop calling them, or do you leave it be? Like, what do you do when somebody is trying to blast you, right? Because wouldn't that be considered blasphemy? Like, you, or embarrassing? I don't know, because I don't really get embarrassed, so I don't know. What would that be called? When you publicly post something about somebody, like whether it's your friends, family, and you put their names, that's typically saying you want a response, right? Y'all let me know. Talk to me. Yeah, share the show. Share the show. He's still rolling in the area codes. Absolutely. Right. And now I said this because I was like, okay, this is still, y'all know we like to learn everything here. And I learned a lot of things with Jay-Z and them, and we're even here with this. Okay, that's saying you want smoke. Everybody wants smoke till the smoke show up. You know, so this is why and so this is the thing, right? So even, let me finish the story so y'all can have all the details and then y'all can make your own points. Okay. So then you do that, hours go by. I want to say like hours. He's answering the phone for everybody except, well, I'm lying. He answered the phone for everybody. He put a name on the post, and that person called them, and then he corrected the post and removed their name, right? So it was like, he corrected the post. He corrected the spelling of my mother's name, then removed the other person's name. So to me, that was just like a telltale in itself. Like, a conversation was had, because I was like, yo, I think they spelled my mother's name wrong, but I don't know, and then it was corrected. So that lets you know there, like, my discernment is very, God don't play about me. I got my days when I don't be trying to listen, and sometimes I'll be feeling who, but he don't lie to me. You right? So we go ahead and we do that. So then after that, right? He's still not answering things. All this still not answering. He's saying, "Oh, I'm gonna call." Da, da, da. Mind you, my mom has been blocked from his phone for we don't even know how long, right? I'm not going to sit up here and cap. Nobody knows how long. Only she would know. You understand? My mother's a grown ass woman. Don't nobody get in her business. What she do, who she get money from, hell, who you get money from, who you don't get money from. That ain't nobody. Don't nobody care. It is 2026, and for the last 5 years, the world has been in shambles. Okay, and at the end of the day, I always feel like if your family should help each other, whether that's providing housing, providing food, you know what I'm saying, babysitting grandkids, taking kids to daycares, doing things, you know what I mean? I just feel like that amongst the Black culture, family is just not the same for everybody, right? Especially if you deem people family. I don't consider these motherfuckers family. I keep it a bean. I say it all the time. I don't know these people like that. I don't fool with these people. When I go through tough times, when I need something or something tragic happens to me or something tragic happens to somebody in my family, they are not the first people on my list to call. I don't even think of them. You know what I mean? So it'd be like, sometimes it just be like the audacity. So I guess it's like, I have a few that I do fool with. But I guess you would say, I don't even want to say I'm the goddamn black sheep because I don't even know them. But it's just one of those things. I'm real heavy on I mind my business. If it don't have nothing to do with me, if ain't nobody getting injured, if ain't nobody doing nothing, I mind my business all day long until it comes to my mother. You understand? And my sister, it's a little hard for me. I feel like I mind my business more when it comes to my daughter because she a little me and she'll pop you real quick. So it's kind of like, and my nephews, everybody know I don't play about Xavier. I don't care who you are, I don't play about Xavier. Me and my friend, we was ready to tear the ball loose a few times for Xavier. I don't play about him. So it's just certain things I don't play about. And then some things I do play about, and it doesn't really matter, right? So anyway, so all of this, right? He thinks so. My sister then goes, and my sister responds on this post, because he was like, people owe him all of this money. People owe him. He said people owe him $18,000 or whatever, 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 whatever. Meanwhile, my mother only owed him $50. So it was more, looking at from like my sister's in them perspective, like, why is this man trying to make it seem like that mommy owe him like hundreds of millions and thousands of dollars? I'm like, I don't know, but I didn't see it the way that it was being presented. Sometimes it's like, oh, I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. I ain't included in that. Nigga, 25 million people could owe you $40 million. If I only owe you $20, I ain't thinking about you saying $40 million is owed upon to you. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, everybody keeps saying that. 50 what? Yeah, $50. So then there was like the receipts of the money was sent to him. He then sent it back. So it's just so let me see CJ, you making me jump. You making me jump around. Everybody keeps saying that. I know you fucking lie. For real, right? And don't get me wrong. I say it all the time. Like, yo, it's somebody that be on my page today. She owed me $100 from like 10 years ago, right? She owes me $100 from more than 10 years ago. I think she done got engaged. She done got married. I think she want to get married again. She has had my $100 20 times over. You know what I mean? I never, not once, said anything, on the internet, because I feel like, when you open up things to the internet, you are also opened up for public opinion, correct? Because everybody don't know. Y'all don't know all 4,000, 5,000 people that's on your friends list. Sometimes you just accept people because you have them in common and all of this other stuff, right? So you don't really know these people. Nobody cares, right? But it's just like, I feel like when you post things on the internet, it's almost equivalent to the chick that blasts her baby father or her boyfriend on the internet and turn around and marry him or turn around and get back with him. It's like, why did you put it on the internet if you knew that this is not how you felt? If you knew that y'all was going to get back together, why'd you tell everybody? You know what I mean? Things like that. So here we are. And I am just like, you know, as I said, and I'm like, there is a message in this. I know that I told y'all I look for y'all think I'll be lying when I say, yo, there's a message in everything. And there's a message in everything, and we can all learn from it. I feel like it was a learning thing for everybody, right? And so my sister, who never responds to anybody, she don't like to do that. Like we don't do the internet stuff. I'ma call you. We did what we do. We call. What's up? Like, what's going on? No, no reply, no nothing. Of course, I have no clue on the backstory, but I have my assumptions of why he mad because I'm keeping it to myself. Okay, well, we gotta see. So then whatever it is, so my sister went on a post and my sister cleared it up and was like, hey, hold on. You posting this post, you trying to be embarrassing or trying to embarrass, my mother, when let me let y'all know, out of this $18,000, my mother only owed him $50, in which you didn't even try to get it back, X, Y, and Z. But you want to embarrass somebody. Let's talk about how you always run around here and you cheating. So once upon a time, he was married. You know how that go. Cheats on his wife, cheats on his girlfriends. He was like a habitual cheater or whatever, right? And so it struck a nerve, right? Oh, it has striking a nerve for everybody. I mean, people who ain't even got nothing to do with the price of tea in China, like, feel away, right? So, um, uh, she want me to read it word for word. So let's read it word for word, right? And I promise you, there's a lesson in this. There is a lesson in this. Let me go to it. So, what are your thoughts so far? All right. And so I just feel like, when you leave things up to when you bring things to the internet, you allow people to join in and things like that. So she says, Terry, from someone constantly posting about family and friends and ex-girlfriends owing you money, it sounds more like a guilt and misery catching up with you after years of cheating on your wife and moving from woman to woman. Since you decided to make public accusations, let's set the record straight about my mother. Out of the alleged 18,000 you claim was owed, Terry sent a $50 Zelle payment to her on May 2nd of 2025, and the money was Zelled back to you. It simply slipped her mind afterwards. Clearly, it sounds like yours is slipping too because of all the drama and confusion you've caused within the family these past few years. Half of your first cousins don't even deal with you because of the constant confusion and mess surrounding your behavior, right? Okay. She said, I don't usually act like that, but I don't play about my mother. Right? So let me go to the rest. Now, I don't find anything wrong in that, because I just feel like when you do things to people, we have to understand that let me know, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Surrounding your behavior. We have the transaction receipts proving the money was sent back. What's interesting is that instead of handling this like an adult with a simple phone call, you chose social media theatrics. Considering how often you and my mother spoke on the phone while you were traveling from woman to woman, you had plenty of opportunities to mention it directly, correct? Multiple calls and texts were made trying to contact you, but suddenly you act like you can only read messages, like posts, and ignore responding when it's time to address facts. That behavior speaks for itself. And since you enjoy airing out personal business publicly, everyone already knows why your own children do not deal with you. So be very careful about who you tried to play with online. You picked the right one this time. Okay? So there you go. I got to give you guys the story. Okay? You're there. You're keeping up. So it's one of those things like that. So I don't know if you were right, CJ, or not, but so that struck a nerve. Okay? That struck a nerve. And it was just like a nerve was struck. And it's like what some of you guys are saying, everybody's saying, like, damn, $50, like, yo, how old is he? So someone, oh wait, so he was loud and wrong because he forgot. I don't know. I don't know, right? And so then here it goes, right? So in response to that, he says nothing. I know things she goes back on there and was like, X, Y, and Z. Like, you better play with one of your girlfriends up here in Baltimore. Because he got a girlfriend up here, something named Shirley, and another one named Ike that he be creeping with. I don't know. And she put it out there. She was like, you played with the wrong Baltimore, the wrong Shirley in Baltimore. You have every right to defend, right? So he reads it. You know what they do? They screenshot it. The issue is everybody, people began to call, sure, like, began to call, well, boom, Mr. Jenkins. See, that's what I thought. It's like, even within the, like, what goes to what we were talking about earlier, like the music and people doing things for the internet. You can't be rude and disrespectful to somebody on the internet, put their names out there, and then want to control how they respond to it. You know what I mean? That's what I don't respect about none of this stuff. Y'all know how I feel about post deleters and tweeters and deleters and people who just don't answer the phone. Like, why not just answer the phone? So then he was like, oh, he was gonna call my mom. He lied, saying he was gonna take the post down. Instead, he didn't do that. He just freaking removed and deleted and blocked my sister off his page. Don't nobody care. You know what I mean? Like, what was said, what was said, what was said, what was said. And it was a fact. They were facts. But there was facts. She's older than me, right? So she's been around a lot longer than me. And she's always been like more around them than me. So she knew his business. Yo, it was so terrible that he assumes my mother, who knew nothing about this internet stuff, told my sister to say that stuff, right? Because it's like, how could she not know or whatever? But this is why I tell y'all be thinking that kids don't pay attention to stuff. So it's just one of those things where people wanted to start saying, oh, so then it was, oh, it went too far. Everybody's feeling like something was gone too far because she mentioned he cheats and his wife is now deceased. And so I guess his cheating or something shouldn't have been able to be mentioned. Whatever. You understand? Like, I don't like that. It's almost equivalent to people who go out here and they do a bunch of crime and they live by the gun and they die by the gun, and then the pastor up there talk about he's a good man in heaven with his wings. You's a mother freaking liar if all he did was cause hell on earth. You know what I mean? It reminds me of that. Like, when people want to, like, feel like, it's almost like when Drea said your wholeness gets deleted or something she said. And it's like, no, yes, retaliation has no ceiling. And that's the part that irritates me with the culture in general, because everybody wants to do things and say things to you and then say you're not supposed to say anything back in return, or you're not supposed to do this. And like I tell y'all, when I come up here before, and I tell y'all, people will always be loud and wrong and have no problem smearing your name through the mud, have no problem posting your business, have no problem doing anything that they're doing, and can be wrong. But the minute the truth shows up, nobody want to say nothing. You don't see the blogs going back saying, oh, we apologize, X, Y, and Z. Oh, we apologize. We have to send an apology out to Drake. We have to send an apology out to Michael Jackson and them, or to Oprah. We witnessed what they did to Monique. Remember when all Monique wanted was Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah to admit that they wronged her and they blackballed her in the industry. That's all she wanted. She said she had got placed into debt and all of this. And Tyler Perry and, Steve Harvey, remember she did the interview, Steve Harvey said he knew that what Tyler and them did to her was wrong, right? Listen up, these are the facts. He knew that Tyler Perry and them did that wrong. He knew that she was black, but they talked about it on his show. And she said, why you ain't say nothing? And he said, because we could have handled it in a different way. And Monique said, no, we couldn't have. And so this is where I come, where I'm like, yo, that people need to realize the apology needs to be just as loud as the disrespect, if not even louder. You know what I mean? Like, and so here we are. Nobody but exactly. But Lee Daniels did. I remember Kevin Hart gave her some money when she was down, but then she said he ended up backing out of something, you know. And my point with the Steve Harvey and Monique thing is, it's just like what we do as people. We call each other or whatever. Oh, take this down. Don't say that. This not nice. But nobody ever correcting the person that starts it. It's almost like when you were in school and a teacher say, stop talking, stop talking, CJ. And you'd be like, well, Charles was talking too. I was just responding to Charles. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking to Charles. I'm talking to you. And you'd be like, what the hell? No, Charles need to stop talking to go in the corner too. You know what I mean? Oh, she aired that ish out as she should have. Don't throw stones and hide your hands until the truth comes out. Ish gets real silent. Exactly. So, you know, and I don't care if anybody has anything to say. I don't care if anybody, you know, wants to call or whatever, like, hey, well, what happened? Things like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But what I don't like is people saying, oh, well, he was wrong. He was wrong for what he did. He should have never put it on the internet. But that nobody went under the post and said, hey, yo, uncle, grandfather, yo, you 250 years old, my nigga. This shit is wrong. You know, I don't like that. It almost reminds me of the friends who want or people who want to support you privately and call you saying, "Oh, I seen your post. Oh, why da da da," but they will never double tap, like, or put a comment under a picture. You can keep it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I was so excited, because I was like, oh my God, this is like a full circle moment, because there really is a lesson in here, because we all at some point have dealt with it. Now, you know, we've watched people do things on the internet and be like, oh, they crazy. Like, you see such and such talk about Uncle such and such today. Like, this is crazy. And where it's been like, don't say nothing, because you know they're gonna come at you or whatever the case may be. It's just like, this is pure entertainment. And it's like, everybody thinks stuff is entertainment until they're the one being entertained. So here we are, right? So I said, I see you looking with your looking ass. Yes. So I said, so then the thing Shirley did what she did. He blocked her. He deleted the comments and he blocked her. Post still up there. He done lied to whoever he called, or whoever called him, saying, hey, I'm going to remove the post. I'm going to remove the post. No, yeah, you know, and I stand on it. You don't got to remove it. And, you know, whoever else felt the way about it, it's like, that's on y'all and y'all feelings, because at the end of the day, you cannot do things to people and then control how they react to it. And I feel like that is like one of the biggest things as people that we forget. You cannot control people. You know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, well, both of them were wrong. Okay, if that's how you feel. But what about the motherfucker that started it? So if you pow me with an AK-47 and I freaking you with a sawed off shotgun, defending myself against your AK-47, I'm wrong because I shouldn't have unloaded against you back. Like this is the world we live in. And so that's why I said, wow, it's just crazy, because I put all this oil in my hair, y'all, when I twisted it up. And I said, wow, this is crazy, because this is somebody's grandfather. You know what I mean? This man is like 238 years old, and he done started the internet beef, and now he is looked upon as the victim, right? So this is where I'm like, yo, you cannot argue with a fool. You cannot make sense out of nonsense. You can't do any of that, right? And this is why sometimes one response is the response. Sometimes no response is the response as well. And I said, come on here. I have my own PR system, right? I have my PR person, I call it that, has stopped me several times over these years from responding or saying something to somebody on the internet. And, she has stopped me a lot. And I was going to light these people up over these years. And I keep receipts, I am the receipt. Okay. I am a walking text right off. I am a walking text right off. So I love I don't like technology, but you gotta love it because screenshots are very cool and accurate, right? As well as the read receipts that people don't always know is on their phones, and the unsend message thing that are on the phones now. And it's like, what you said, So technology is, it's like a gift and a curse, right? And so then here we are, right? We feel like it's over. It is what it is. It's nothing else to even respond to because she said what she said. She made the point. So it was okay. So it's okay. So what I've gathered is it's okay to try to embarrass people about money. But it's not okay to try to embarrass people when it comes to their cheating character. You know what I mean? That's a pick and a choose. It's picking and choosing. And then because of, one of the people he's cheated on is no longer amongst us, you now have to act like, and you can never mention the cheating. Says the fuck who? So then there's those things, right, where it's like, okay, well, let's look at it, right, you guys? All people matter. Here, there, wherever they are. Amongst us or no longer amongst us. They all matter. But the fact that there is even a way of saying, let's be real. The wife's name was never mentioned. I couldn't even tell you his wife's name. His wife's name was never mentioned. She just said, you're a cheater. You cheat. You want to put out stuff? Okay, we'll put out there how you cheated on your wife and how you also cheating on your current and the little woman you deal with now, right? Nobody's name was turned out. It was like, well, I just think that the wife was too. You talking about his cheating on his dead wife was too far, and we felt like talking about our live mother was too far. You get what I'm saying? So it's like people don't want you to defend or say anything. And then it's like if somebody is no longer living, they are completely off limits. Here we are. Because this is what I'm saying. Again, she never said anything about the person that's no longer here. You understand? She said something about the person that's connected to the person that's no longer here. You understand? So outside of that though, right? My mother is still here. Right? So is my mother not as important because his wife is no longer here? Y'all listening? Like, cause like, how is one more important than the other? She's important to you, and my mother's important to us. So it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like that's a subjective question depending upon who you ask. You know what I mean? Because when T.I. and them was beefing with Curtis, they was like, they went too far. They went and got a picture of his mother tombstone. You ain't see 50 back down, to my knowledge. You ain't see 50 cry about it. Because when you throw rocks, as somebody said that earlier, when like Good Spirit said, you throw rocks. Where is that? You can't throw rocks and then hide your hand. And then you can't. That's why I say attention, y'all, is the new drug, and it's even deadly against seniors. You can't make a post talking about other people's parents. Cause he even put his own cousins and his own kids and stuff up there. In fact, I found out that he had one of his cousins that's up there that was just at his house. So that lets you know too, he one of them. He a man, an old man, but he don't know how to confront you face to face. Clearly he don't, because the one was just at his house and he said nothing. So it's like, okay, this is where we are. People sensitive when they want to be. It wasn't about the wife, but about his cheating ass lifestyle. See? And I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me, Miss Moore, who was like, this ain't about his wife. And y'all, I read it to y'all. This ain't about his wife. This was about his cheating ass character. And like I said, if she was included in it, so be it. So here we are, right? So, so then here we are. And this is how you get, this is the difference when you can tell people who, what CJ said earlier, who be with the smoke. See, the problem is people be with people, as my good girlfriend say, everybody like to play until somebody come along and put that frog in your throat, right? Hurt your little feelings. Somebody pull a you on you. Now it's been over for us, right? But I'm like, this is some great content because there's a message here, because it just happened with Jay-Z and 50 Cent. And this is why I know I'm destined for stardom, because I be really experiencing the stardom type shit, So here it is. The funny part is we are out of responses to anything. Not because we don't have nothing to say. Oh, we do. But if you're going to block and delete everybody who respond, ain't nobody about to go back and forth with you or none of y'all on the internet. You feel me? Like, does that make sense? Would you guys do it? If someone, tell me, place yourself for a minute. I'm talking to you guys. If someone talks about you on the internet or makes a statement or do anything, and you are not even an internet responder, right? But you choose to do it that to them, but they block you and they delete you. Who really lost here? Like, who's more upset? The poster or the blocker? You know what I mean? It's like, yes, go cry in the car. Okay. It's like, who's more upset, right? And it's one of those things where I was like, oh, this is just crazy, because what to say, it depends on the person and the situation for you. Oh, which situation? Explain. Because I said so much, I don't know which part you're referring to, Alexis. Which part? So it's like, and I've done the internet thing. I mean, I went in with one of my sisters on the internet, and that thing was like a $400 or $500 read. I mean, people was calling like, y'all are crazy. We went at it. All my sisters was on there. This was my father's side, the daddy kids, right? All my sisters was on there. My cousins was on there. My friends jumped on there. Like, this was a key. But I also was like 20 something years old, I got dragged straight to hell on the internet before. All lies on top of that. As tempting as it was, I didn't respond. Hella dummies agreeing with the poster and everything. It was bad. For real. See, y'all be good. Y'all be good. Now, it's one thing. Now, let's be real. It's one thing if you're going to do something and try drag me. But I'm sorry, yo. I don't care who you are. You're not dragging my mother. Y'all might play about y'all mother. I don't play about mine. You feel me? We all got different things. So I didn't watch, but but I understand that too, CJ, because I've watched people talk about me on the internet. And I just laugh. I watched somebody come in my group and talk about me. Yeah. I'll tell that story one day. I gotta consult with my PR. I sure did. I left it there. Because I don't mind seeing. I used to eat, sleep, and breathe confrontation for breakfast once upon a time in life. I've never been afraid of anybody. You bleed just like I bleed. I can talk just like you can talk, and I ain't no pussy, right? So for me, for me, I can go back and forth with you all day long. And if you want to get down the scrap, we can do that too. Once upon a time. Now, I'd rather sue you. I'd rather go press some charges. Right? So, and because of the simple fact of the matter too, there's been a lot of things that has transpired over the years with me to where though it's even been like that with my kid. You ever be with your kids? Y'all tell me if I'm lying. Or somebody and be like, yo, I don't want to beat you. Cause if I beat you, this not even gonna be fair. Cause you could be getting your butt whipped for about 50 things that ain't got nothing to do with you. Because I've been waiting to choke a mother freaker all week. Y'all ever felt like that? Or is it just me? You know what I'm saying? For real. You know what I mean? I tell my daughter, don't play with me today because if I put my hands on you, you're going to get plucked for such and such, 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 and some stuff you ain't do. So I mind you just watch your tone. What do you say? And keep your hand on your head. Anybody ever felt like that? Watch it because or yo, if I even go off and say something to you, you gonna get cursed out for everybody else that I ain't get the curse out. So I try not to get, No, I feel that I was good. I was a good kid in Shy Elementary School, but I punched somebody in the face and got suspended for talking about my mama. She said, right. Okay, so y'all know what I'm talking about. So, excuse me. She said, yes, indeed. Listen. Don't nobody touch you like your kids. I'd be like, if I pop you, girl, I remember a long time ago all that stuff was going on with my trifling baby daddy. And the thing is, it don't matter. If I feel like everybody, maybe some people watching or you yourself has been a cheater. Nigga, everybody got cheated on. Well, not probably not everybody, but everybody didn't experience some cheating. Who cares? Don't nobody care. You know what I mean? But you do got some people who got an image to protect. But outside of that, it's like, yo, I remember when that stuff hit with my baby father, and I was like, little girl, I don't even want to put my hands on you because you're going to get the shit beat out you for X, Y, and Z. So I don't even want to put my hands on you. I mean, it's been times where it's just like, I got to stay calm. Because if I don't stay calm, I'm going to be the one to go to jail. Remember how we talked about it here a couple weeks ago, how when we go to, everybody else can do it, but when we go to do it, God be like, can't stand that, man. I hate when that happens. They have no clue what's being held in or what it takes not to go off. No. And this is why you can't really be bothering people, especially in today's time. Now, the thing is, if I was the one that responded, right, it would have been like, oh, that's just Candace. That's Candace. That's what she do. Because I'm known to be the go offer. But because my sister is quiet, she doesn't say much. It takes a lot to get her riled up. She damn sure ain't going to post nothing on her page. See, I used to post it on my page and then tag the person. I would write it and then go get you like, bring that ass here. What do you say? Get over here. I was from off of Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? I used to post it and then tag you and then you come. And then we could go this way. Because the reason why I used to do it is because I know you, and I get it. You got to go where the people are, right? So if I know you like to hang out on the internet or a certain app, I got to go at you and tag you on that app that I know you on. Because you can't, I say, hi, Marlo. Marlo came and had pizza with me the other day. We had lunch yesterday. Hi, Marlo. What's up, dummy? That little baby like to call people dummies now. He is the cutest, y'all. I'm gonna have to bring him on here one day. So outside of that, right? So anyway, so we go ahead, she do the post or whatever and things like that, but we cannot control what people decide to do and how they take it. You cannot be rude and then want people to not be so rude with you, So then here we are later on. So I guess my sister was like friends on Facebook with his kids, right? So his daughter then does what? They then all turned into punks. She blocked Shirley or unfriended Shirley and then made a long post. And this goes to the point of, you can't argue with a fool because a fool don't usually know they're a fool. Wait. And I'll only do this if you guys say yes. Because then I want to see who's been paying. This will show who's been paying attention and who gets the message. So if you guys want to know what she said, I'll read it. I'll read it. If y'all want to know what the daughter said, I'll read it. Right. Um, and this and the reading of the daughter's message is very crucial to the case. Y'all know how we hear when we have court. It's very crucial to the case because um it definitely it definitely well girl, go to sleep. I'm not doing my show for you. Good night. See you Nugget. Um, you know, you have to, this is why you got to get facts. This goes back to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. That's why I like tonight goes back to so many shows of you have to do your research before you decide to do things to people. You know what I mean? And outside of that, right? If when you make posts about people and you want sad people to see it, okay, you should at least keep it up so the sad people can see it. But however, you then make a post and then but this is how you know when people don't be wanting no trouble. And this is how you know when you've bruised somebody's ego. And that's what it is. It's pride. Pride cometh before the fall. Right? Y'all keeping up? And if y'all want me to read it now I'll read it. Pride cometh before the fall because before she made her post, she made sure she removed the person that could see it. Now, I told y'all, the one thing I don't like about Shirley, Shirley is friendly to everybody. Shirley is friends with everybody on the internet. Shirley is going to speak to everybody. Shirley is going to keep the peace with everybody. Shirley is going to be whatever, like, it fucking grinds my gears, excuse my mouth. I ain't never been that sister. You know what I mean? That ain't me. Don't, I can't stand when my mother take me somewhere and be like, hey, Candace, you remember such and such? Why are you calling me over here to talk to these people? I don't know this lady. I don't know. Then I gotta say, oh, hello. Or then if I'm short, it's like, you were so rude. No, I'm not. I don't know these people. You know what I mean? So Shirley is that. Like Shirley is still friends with everybody that I don't like. Well, once upon I didn't like. Okay. But outside of that, right? She even friends with people I done beat up, She's and it's no issue. Like I'm not that person because some of the people who I dislike or who don't like me, rather, they was like her customers at one point. I don't care about that. Like I'm not gonna never stop nobody beg. I'm not gonna never do that. Like I really don't care about that. This is how much a fucks I do not give. So here we are. And so the daughter responds, right? She makes a post. Do y'all want to hear it? You got to tell me if you want to hear it. Well, Shirley said, read it. I'm friends with the people I beat up now. I think we all are at some point. Well, no, I don't know because I don't really have a whole lot of friends. My friend circle get really, really small. But needless to say, his daughter responds, but she makes a post, right? She deletes Shirley. She makes a post. It starts off about the Lord, how y'all know them. Y'all know how them people do. It's like, here we go. So she does this post about how transgressions are forgiven. God is a forgiver. You're basically admitting that her father was some trash. Right. And that's all that matters, right? And this is my interpretation of what she said. And that's what she said, and the past is the past and we should heal. And if you owe money, you should just pay the money. You shouldn't stop the communication. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that, right? With the money and all of these other things, right? But well, I'll save that part. But outside of that, right? And then she, we are not blood related. Let's start there, right? Nobody said that. No, that. Like I think they I think they my mother's godmother's family or something. This is how I don't keep up. So, but they've always treated, us like family or whatever. Like my mother goes around them all the time, whatever. So she's like, family knows not to respond, and true family, putting family in caps, girl. Like it was offending somebody. Like, bitch, we know we not related. Like that's what. Oh, did I just curse? Sorry, but like it's like people be saying stuff thinking that they be trying to be offensive or trying to offend you. Like, girl, we already know we're not related to you. Like, ain't nobody dying to be related to you. Like, who the fuck is dying to be related to y'all? Right? So she's like, oh, and family acted accordingly. And that's why family, thank you for not responding to the post because we know the truth and the truth shall set you free. And maturity is not having a knee-jerk response and speaking out aloud and bringing things to the internet. Meanwhile, her father is the one who brought it to the internet. Her father is so basically she made a post talking about her father, thinking that she's talking about Shirley, and she's really talking about her father. This is why I said, girl, family be the fucking word. For real. And this is why it's like, yo, you cannot argue with a fool because she don't even know she a fool. Because family did respond because you fucking responding. Ain't that your father? Like you. So this is why it's like, yo, when you sit down and you really look at the things that people post and the things that people say on the internet, right? It's so not okay because you so busy trying to sound like Coretta Scott and make an educated fucking thesis on the internet defending your father's allegations that you don't even know that you talking about your father. You know? Talking about being mature and not bringing things to the internet. And your father did exactly that. These are the things that make me go, Does that make sense to y'all? Let me ask you. I know when y'all get quiet, y'all digesting. But let's be for real here. That's why I'm like, yo, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I got my content for today. Because it makes no sense. Sometimes when you are coming to the rescue of somebody, it's important to do your research. It's important to have the facts, but don't show up trying to seem like you are the level-headed person and sound like an idiot. And that's the part that in reality, even with what you see and online and in social media, and even with this story today, it's sad because people don't even know that they're a damn fool. People don't even know that they're a fool. You make a whole post about being mature and not responding on the internet when your father did exactly that. That's why it's like, y'all, I don't even know. Like that part had left me dumbfounded because I actually thought it was funny because you knew better because you said what you said and you removed her before you said what you said because there's some things to be said about you too. Yeah, but you ain't want that. See, it's already a clear indication that you don't want that. And this is why I say the overall, I feel like sometimes when people bring things to the internet and they say they wanted solutions, you cannot bring stuff to the internet and say you want a solution. And then when the solution is trying to be, given to you and all of that other stuff, you don't want to do it. That man wanted attention. And I'm standing on that. He wanted attention because when he was being called, when whomever told him to call, he ain't answer no phone. And in fact, I'm guaranteeing you, he ain't tell nobody. He sent the money back. That was what I said the kicker was. He sent the money back. Shirley pissed him off so bad with what she said that he sent the money that my mother paid him. He sent it back. He sent it back. So this is why it's like, listen, you have to know. So details are important when it comes to certain things when you decide that you want to put things on the internet. But again, you cannot put anything on the internet about nobody over here in this white Jackson bloodline and think that ain't nobody going to say nothing to you. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? It's not that true. The last thing we will do is bring it to the internet. But if it's on the internet, y'all know my page is a reality page. You know, we talk about these type of things, and I don't even make a post about it probably and use it as a talking point. But at the same time, it's like, yo, we were over it days ago. It took you. What did he say? What did Drake say to goddamn Meek Mill? We waited all day, nigga. Where y'all at? You know, I'm not really sure what really made y'all mad. I guess this is what we got to do to make y'all rap. Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers. You getting body by a singing nigga. Remember that song? You know, so it's that. It's like, so it took her. So basically, sometimes there is always something good in it. So the lesson here should be, don't post nobody on the internet and expect for them not to respond. Don't borrow money from people who's going to throw it in your face. If you're helping somebody and you're genuinely helping them, help them because you're genuinely helping them. You are genuinely doing it, right? The other lesson is, you don't want nobody to go far, don't you go far. Don't start no stuff, won't be no stuff, right? And then the other lesson in it too is, you can't pop shit and then post and delete stuff and then block people and then, you know, you cannot check the checkers. So it's just like, you 4,000 years old and you chose with one of your very close whoever, because we're not family, whatever she said, whatever y'all deem my mother, and you chose to ruin your relationship for the internet at 104,000 years old. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's like, this nigga got grandkids. My mother got grandkids. My mother didn't even know what was going on the internet. And it's like, you got grandkids. Like come on, pop. Like, fuck is wrong with you? It almost reminds me of these old people that be at the job. Like, what, you ain't got nobody else to talk to all day? So you just want to come and show up on the internet and cause chaos. And it's nothing special. He's done this before. He do it to all of them, really. But it just was like, okay. So I've learned a lot, and you know, attention is a hell of a drug. Everybody wants attention until they get it, and that's what it is. So be mindful with, you know, who you ask for help, and be mindful with what you put on the internet, because you cannot control the way people respond to it. I learned that a couple years ago. That's why I learned that. I talked about it on my show some years ago. I don't play internet games with people. I can't. You know what they say, Ali oxen free. I can't tag you it. I'm out. I can't play internet games with people. I'm too much of a real person. Like, I'm gonna call you. Y'all remember I told y'all about that crazy girl a couple weeks ago? Try to play. Oh, she cursed, and she was texting me and she cursed. I picked up that phone so quick. She ain't answer. Yeah, I don't play that. Like, we don't gotta play these games. And I feel like this, for everybody who's he posted, he has their phone number. He has their phone number. Yo, it's CJ. Could you imagine me saying something about you online? You see it, and you like, yo, you got my number. Why did you go to the internet? You wanted some attention. Or you wanted to try to embarrass somebody. You wanted to try to, nobody goddamn embarrassed over here. But I mean, that's my mother. Don't play with my mother and I won't play with your life. It's one of those type of things. You know what I mean? You know? So, yeah. And you just simply can't make sense out of nonsense. You can't make sense out of nonsense. Because, oh, and she said, and she said Shirley reacted out of emotion. Well, what the fuck did your father do? Like, this is why it's like people be trying to ignore the facts. That would be the goofiest thing ever, and probably would stop talking to you. You know what I mean? And then it was like, oh, he's going to eventually call my mother. Don't call my mother. My mother don't want to talk to you. Now you want to call her. They still ain't call her because he feel away because of what my sister said. Because he thinks my mother told my sister to say that. Nigga, we told my mother what was going on. This is why you can't assume. All you have to do is ask, and you would have found out. My mother didn't know none of this stuff that was going on. In fact, she was like, I don't know. She said, I'm not thinking about him. I don't even know why y'all even entertaining them people. That's exactly what she said verbatim. But like my sister said, because he tried to play. Act out of emotions. Oh, so she was just supposed to let it fly. What about his emotions? That's what I'm saying. See, CJ, this is what I kind of don't even want to read her message because I feel like I'm giving her some publicity. Y'all know how I feel. It's like it's some publicity. But it's just stupid. I'll just get to some big parts of what she said. Oh, you're tempting up the muster up the audacity to type fast and loud in an attempt to hurt others. That's what she said. Shirley made an attempt to try to hurt other people. And maturity is controlling yourself and reframing from knee-jerk reactions that make you look and sound foolish. But this is why I said for this whole post, she's talking about her father. Your father is the one who made the post and got a response. And then the part that gets on my nerves is she put in caps, I love you, family. Girl, don't nobody give a fuck about you. I promise you, if you died today tomorrow, I wouldn't be there. You get what I'm saying? See, then it makes you be like that, and it's like, dang, well, that may not be nice, but that's a fact, right? So, and then it's like, well, damn, I don't know who's on the post because I'm not friends with her. I don't even know what the girl is, but it's but it's one of those things. No, for real though, CJ. But it's like one of those things where it's like, and then you have 13 other people who put hearts on it and liked it and thumbs upped it. And it's like, y'all are idiots too. And I don't even know who it was, but y'all are idiots too. Because nobody not once said, but you talking about your father. Oh, that's why I'm laughing. That's why. That's why I knew I should have read it for y'all. That's why you laughing. You laughing because what? She said, yeah, and yesterday she's still responding. Go figure. Girl, listen. That's why I said, I think she got like a degree too. That's why I say, just because you go to college and you got degrees don't mean you got no fucking common sense. Because she said, this is the ending that goes with what you just said. A family who loves each other is able to discern the difference between making a valid point and taking things too far. Family chooses love and loyalty over messiness and pettiness. Thankfully, everyone who is family acted accordingly. So what you not family, bitch? Because you're responding on behalf of your father. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like people don't know when to just shut up and throw the towel at, girl. But if she blocked Shirley, she unfriended Shirley because she didn't want to deal with that. So it's like, y'all, it's already been deemed scratch the surface, null and void. Y'all some pussies. Keep it moving. Cause I know you so for real about not giving after at all. Not at all. You feel me? Oh, I know you're so serious about not giving a fuck. Absolutely. Listen, that ain't me. My mother and them, they go to everybody who passed away stuff. I don't go to nobody's stuff because I don't know who cooking at the repast. So it's like, then I be looked at wrong because they like, you only showed up for the food and did. So I just don't do it. We know common sense is not common. Yet Messy Marvin got on these white people internet and said what he said about his, I don't know what you would call associates or some shit. But the funny part is, we don't know it. Now we could say there's no benefit of doubt. He could have possibly said, "Don't respond, don't say anything." He could have possibly said that to her, and she could have very well did what Shirley chose to do, which was ignore it, right? But my thing is, this whole dissertation was a well thought out dissertation response. And it's like the response you wrote, you didn't even know that you're talking about your father. That's what has me baffled. It's like you don't even know that you're talking about your dad. And then you don't even know that the people that you keep trying to make these family emphasis to, and don't get me wrong, I speak as representation of myself. You know what I mean? I definitely ain't trying to put no words in my mom and my sister in them boat, because I'm real heavy on I say it what I said, like it is what it is. I definitely done never considered you family. I ain't know you. I swear to God, I swear to God. I said, Shirley, I said, who the hell is Kim? Who the hell is Kimberly? Because I only know one Kimberly, and that's Kimberly White. That's the only Kimberly I know, right? And she was like, "Oh, that's his daughter." I'm like, "Girl, fuck her." I don't know them people. That's what I was. I don't know them people. She was like, "Well, you remember she came to the house when you was little?" When I was like 7. I don't know that girl. I couldn't even tell you what she looked like. I couldn't tell you nothing about her. So it just be so funny because people always bring things up and say things to you or about you, and it's like, girl, I didn't consider you family. You know what I did? Like, that's what be funny. Like, girl, I didn't consider you. I didn't even know who you was. I still don't know who you are. And they don't live here. They live in Florida. So I'm really looking at you like a far distant fan tweet for real. I will never see you. I don't go to family functions. If something ever happened to my mother, Lord forbid, we've already said it. Y'all motherfuckers ain't welcome. Don't you dare come because you will get embarrassed there. And personally, right? Off the publicly, off the internet. Don't come to my mother shit. We've already said that. And I mean that. If something happens to my mom, you are not welcome. I am not one of them people that be like, "Oh, but she gone." I don't give a fuck. If you going to disrespect her while she living, you going to do it while you ain't coming in here. So it's just one of those things where it's like, it's sad because we don't do that. And you can forgive and you can let go. Like there's no grudge given. I feel like you can't even really be too mad about motherfuckers that you don't know anyway. Like you know what I mean? So it's like it is what it is. But Andre say exactly, yeah. It is. Oh hey, Andre, you still there? It is what it is. But it's like ain't nobody holding no grudges against you. Don't nobody over here feel away. We slept good. But the fact of the matter is, baby girl, you waited a whole day and a half or whatever to respond on behalf of your father, which means you had to go to sleep to muster up the courage to think about what you wanted to say. We ain't do that. As soon as he posted what he posted, there came a response. We don't do that over here. Anybody got to think about what they got to say, it's going to get said. And then before you said it, you removed her off your friend list. So you really ain't want Shirley to see it. You just wanted to make a post for those who saw it yesterday. But not one person went on that post and said, "You're wrong, this is wrong, delete it." So F you too. I don't care who you are, So it's just like, this is why I'm glad that my kid Exactly. Sometimes sometimes you don't, sometimes you gotta see the things that you did do right with your kids, or the little parts of you that did rub off on your children. Cause and the one thing that I'm proud of myself on too, I don't never need anybody to take up for me, right? But I'm always grateful, woo, about this needs, and appreciative for those who do, right? But the thing is, ain't no, I ain't no, I don't need you to defend me. I don't need you to defend me. I don't need you. If you ever feel like you want to talk about me, you want to post about me, go ahead. You posting to be posting. I'm posting to get paid. We are two different posters. You know you know what I mean? When they say what JT say to Carisha? What did she say when they interviewed her? We live two completely different lives. You know I'm trying to say, I don't gotta go as hard. We live two completely different lives. Ain't that what JT said? So, you know, that part, they will co-sign bullshit. They will. And that's why I said, yo, it be weird. Like, people be weird. People get entertained about certain things. People like to watch certain things. And my whole thing just was like, at the end of the day, I just honestly, y'all, I was like, I gotta come here and talk to my peoples about it, because I'm like, yo, we cannot be trying to make sense out of nonsense. And we can't be trying to make sense out of nonsense. And we cannot, you know, be trying to make people make us feel bad for how we respond to them. You know what I mean? And as people, if you want certain responses from people, then you shouldn't start off with certain responses. And this is why I lost a lot of friendships, I think. Oh, look, now I feel like I'm lying. But I lost a lot of friendships in regards to, like, growing up when I was a kid. You know, the people who be about what was that? Outside of that, it's like, you know, what I don't like about it is, you know, when people talk about you, you know how when people talk about you to the friend, and it's like, well, why you feel so comfortable talking about me to such and such, and you supposed to be my friend, right? That's how I stopped really, and why I never really rocked with people, a bunch of chicks and stuff when I was growing up, because my thing, I used to always get in trouble because I'm always trying to defend the friend. You know what I mean? You know, you cannot, or, you know, you get deemed as the person. We talked about this a couple some months ago about the coworker, what coworker you are. Well, looky. Good evening. I'm sorry I'm late. I was knocked out. Hey, Saneva girl, CJ was talking trash about you, and he look. You see how when she show up, I'm telling what I did. You feel me? Girl, CJ was talking about you because he was here and he was pumped up. And I said, "Oh, I should tag her and tell her you are talking about her because she must not know." And I was like, "No, I ain't gonna be messy." And CJ was like, "Yeah, do it, girl." So I tagged you because he told me to do it. There she go now, CJ. Don't get quiet. um, but outside of that, right? That's why I don't really be fooling with a lot of people, because um people just be really weird out here, you know. Don't talk about me too. I always be like, well, what did you say when she said what she was saying? What happened when he did what he did? You know, that's why I don't rock with people, because my thing is, nobody needs you to come to their defense. Like my sister did it. You know, it is what it is. Like my mother don't be on the internet. I know when my mother is on the internet because I'm gonna get 50 million messages with reels that she finding. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, she finally showed up. But the thing of the matter is, really, like, you know, nobody publicly said he was wrong. Like, yo, take this down. And it ain't even with being wrong, you know, feeling like he was wrong for my mom or all the other names he had up there. We over here, we don't need you for that. You know what I'm saying? You saw, we showed up. It is what it is. You know, one of us showed up. You know, she is me. We are the same blood, whatever. But outside of that, right? And this is why I say it's important, because people will know somebody is dead wrong, regardless if they started it, regardless if it's a lie, regardless if whatever it may be, they will know and will say nothing but call you and say, well, this is that and it was wrong and I don't want to be in it, but this and they was out of line and the line was drawn and the drawing of the line and now we playing hangman or whatever it may be. And we talk about it here all the time. People do things on the internet and never want to correct anybody on the internet. Never want to correct nobody. Look, right? Y'all might think this is dramatic. This is why I always say I know I'm going for stardom. Yeah, and defend the bullshit. It's almost like a mom who knows her son is some trash. And yet when the girlfriend be like, oh, did you know he was in here with such and such? You say, oh no, I thought you was the only girlfriend. Miss Deborah, get out my fucking face before I smack you. You know what I mean? You feel me? So it's like, yo, you knew good and well. And it's almost like I say, behind every deadbeat man is a woman somewhere defending why he don't take care of all his children or spend time with his kids. And to me, in this scenario, that was his daughter. You're coming, speaking, talking about maturity, talking about handling things differently and not having things on the internet and all of these other things. And the whole time, your fucking father is the one who started the stuff on the internet. It's almost like that. You could talk about I could talk about them, but you can't talk about them syndrome. Y'all know that syndrome that we be having as people. I can say something about my mother, but you better not say nothing about my mother. I can say something about my kid, but you better not say nothing about my kid. I can say something about my homegirl, but you better not say nothing about my homegirl. It's almost like that syndrome that we have. Whereas though at the end of the day, nobody should be saying nothing about nobody. Not the son of his mom is. Girl, I can't stand it. For real. That's why when you deal with a nigga, girl, I don't be trying to get to be cool with your mother because your mother one of them. I feel you for real. Only because I love Candace, I was still up is why I'm here because I'm tired. Well, whatever. Sonera, well, you know what, CJ? Any other time you want to take a nap, any other time you want to miss a Wednesday, now you want to blame it on me. Don't make me, now do I got to start pulling your card? Or was you talking to Sonera? Let me know. But I think too, I hope that you guys learned something from this. And I know I sure did learn a lot out of that. And it just sucks because it's like, yo, when it comes to, it's almost like sex. Everybody got a, that's too far. What may be too far for you may not be too far for me. What may be good enough for me may be not enough for you. So it's like, what you may feel like is too far may not be too far for me. What I feel like is too far may be just right on time for you. You know what I mean? It's really one of those type of things. So I just feel like, stop telling people what's too far. Stop saying what's gone too far because you don't always know the details. You don't know the backstories and you don't know what occurred or the history between those two people. Because at the end of the day, I don't know any of them other people that he posted up there. And I felt like he was out of line for everybody. I felt like he was out of line. For everybody. Did I go in there? And somebody may say, well, did you post anything about it? Well, why didn't you go and you didn't post? And why didn't you post? I don't know them people. You know what I mean? Like, I got other stuff going on and I really be having things going on and I don't even be on the internet like that. I'm just now getting back on there like that because I have to get things together. But it was like, I like to also get and do my research before I post. And the research is, well, how much money is owed? Oh, actually, I'm lying because I deleted my comment. I did when I saw it in the morning. Because I didn't know what it was for. I didn't know what it was about. I don't be on this old ass man page. But just so happened, I had came fresh out of prayer. This how the devil work. Ooh, Lord, thank you. I came fresh out of my prayer and meditation, 8 o'clock in the morning. I swear. I came right out of it. And I was like, let me go online before I got my day started after my prayer. I try not to touch my phone before I pray. Blah, blah. And it was there, big as day. And I was like, it was names. And then I seen my mother name, but it was spelled wrong. And I was like, because I ain't want to react. I was like, well, how many short letters is there with the... And I said, what is this for? With a question mark, because I had no clue. I was like, what is this for? He never answered me. He never answered me. I want to say Shirley responded probably like in the evening or something. But I asked him at 8:00 in the morning. And even after I asked him, then I went to do my research. Ma, what's going on? She like, what? What? She said, I know he ain't putting nothing about me on the internet. I was like, girl, yeah. And she was like, I ain't thinking about him. She was like, let me call him. She tried calling him. He wouldn't answer. She tried calling him. And that's when she learned she was blocked. So before that, I tried calling him. I called him. He ain't answer. It was like, so my point of the matter is, sometimes when you do the right thing and something like, you will always be tested and you'll be on that. And for whatever reason, yesterday he wanted me to be quiet. I mean, the other day, whatever it was, when was it? What's the day? Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, he wanted me to be quiet and he wanted me to observe. And he didn't want me to say anything because I didn't have to. Because my sister said it, Had I said it, it probably been taken as a joke. Not even really like a joke, but it probably would have been like, oh, that's what she do. She gonna argue with it. But because my sister don't do it, is why it stung so much. Because somebody who y'all know how it is when somebody who never... Remember that time, CJ, if you still on here, and Handy Mandy, when on year 2, when I came on here with my papers and my receipts, because people had stole my stuff and went on their platforms with it. And I remember CJ was like, oh my God, we've never seen you like this. Like, this is fucked up. When you get somebody to come, I don't even want to say out of character, but when you get somebody to address you or address something that they don't normally address, it stings a little different. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, you had to really, it had to have been something to get such and such and such. That's where that saying come from. Oh, they must have really made you mad because you don't never say nothing. That's what people usually say. So it's like, yo, you can't even really do that. I was like, okay, I'll respond. Let me get it together because I didn't know, but I had to go. I wanted me to sit this one out. And it did what it needed to be done. So it was like, okay, well, my sister said what she said. It is what it is. All that, oh, he's gonna take the post down. He still ain't take the post down. And outside of that, it's just like, during this lifetime, we'll probably never see you again. You know what I mean? Lesson, not to argue with a fool, because someone approaching will not be able to tell who the fool is. Boom. Exactly. And that's what I felt like the message was. Because it was like, okay, well, she didn't block you. Yeah, you could go in her inbox, but it's like, girl, don't even, like, we're not responding to y'all. She said what she said. You a pussy because you fucking unfriended her before you said what you said. Didn't even want her to see it. And she saw it, and you're a pussy. You know what I mean? It's like, it kind of comes to one of those things. What Cardi B say? You think I'm pussy ass Lotto? Don't nobody care about that. It's entertainment. It was good. It was great content. It gave me a great valuable lesson out of it. Made a great show for you guys. So a win's a win, I just feel like it's not, and it's definitely was not about winning anything or losing anything, but it's just like, yo, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care over here. It ain't that deep over here. We left it on the post. But ain't nobody else show up. And that's your prerogative. Like I said, we don't play that. But even on top of that, ain't nobody publicly say he was wrong either. So kiss my ass with that one. So it's one of those things. And I speak for me. I don't speak, like I said again, I don't speak for my sister. I don't speak for my mother. And feeling like we're not family, bitch, we aren't. So it's like, the truth will set you free. But I don't get offended by the truth. We're not related. We're not related. We're not related. Whether you wanted it to be shade, wasn't no shade, girl, because ain't nobody over here offended. So it's one of those things. Like, don't nobody care about that. And it's not like well, you cared enough to make a show about it. Bitch, I'm a content creator. My life is content. And I talk about what happens in my life. So, boom, you finally made the cut. And I don't even know you and you made the cut. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on now. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I do remember you turned into the girl because I was mad. They tried to play with me that year. And after that, like I used to have to do it. I used to come and hit the live button. CJ, tell them. They don't remember Candi Coated back. I used to come hit the live button and tag you and talk about you live. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Mm-hmm. I remember one time somebody was like, oh, I'm going to expose this. I went and did a whole 4-hour show about it. And was like, come on. Get over here. Mortal Kombat. I am not that. I built my platform off of being honest. I built my platform off of sharing my life experiences. Then this was the purpose of my platform. My platform is to let people know that they are not alone. I am not perfect. We are not perfect. And yeah, this is where I vent. This is where I show up. This is where we talk about things and things like that. And I can't control with how you choose to show up in my life. And if you just so happen to make episode 15, 1 million on Candi Coated, then hey, you made the episode. So, but that's what it is. But I kind of miss doing this. Like, I haven't had to like do this in a while. You know what I mean? And prayerfully, I don't have to do it again for another, like, it's been 7 years since I had to do this. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Say, yep. Yeah. I used to go live. And then when people would say something in the group, I used to go live from the group, in the group only, because it's family. Y'all are family. So if you're not in the group and I would go live, other people couldn't see it. You know what I mean? Because that's not what the whole platform is about. I would go live in the group sometimes too and pull you to the forefront so I can tag you and y'all could share your stories and say what y'all wanted to say. That happened. There's a bunch of shows like that. And I kept it within the private of the group because it wasn't done for entertainment. It wasn't done for trying to get attention. And it's my platform is about real life things that happen. And this, what I shared with you tonight, has happened. Some of y'all done got into it with y'all family people too, or people who say y'all family or not family or friends or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is. Hey, let's come and we can go live and we can have the resolution and have the conversation. Well, like my 4th or 5th year, you missed those days. Like my 4th and 5th year, I remember when I was sitting there with Coach Nick Love when I had cut my hair off for like the 100th time, and the girl who I couldn't stand when we was kids showed up on the live because I had somebody else up on the live. And maybe I should reshare that show. And she came up on the live trying to play. Like, oh, I don't have a problem with you. I don't know what happened. And I was like, oh, you try and play. I said, I will post it. I said, oh, you try and play. I said, see, she don't want me to tell y'all what really happened. And I remember like that day, Coach was hitting, if I'm lying, Coach was hitting my leg on the table like, no. This is my platform. Not in no shade like he had no control. That's not what I'm saying. But you're not going to make me quiet on my page. I did. This is why I don't be on other platforms, because they try to downclose. No. And we talked, right? And we ultimately ended up becoming cool. We, Squatch like, girl, I was like, oh, you try and play. And you don't want to sit up here and say, and she tried to make it seem like it was some years ago. And she was like, oh, that was so when we was kids. I was like, girl, that was just 2 years ago in 2019 or something like that. And, or 21 or something, 20. And Coach was like, oh, this was recently. And I was like, yeah. I said, see, she trying to sit up here and she trying to play. She trying to play. And we talked about it. This was on Instagram, though. And we talked about it. And I thought that it was a great And I thought that it was a great moment because this is somebody whom we couldn't stand each other. Like I wanted to beat the shit out of this girl. And we couldn't stand each other, but we had a mutual friend in common. And I never talked about her to my friend, and my friend never talked about her to me, you know. And she came and she talked, and the issue went away. Now that girl is like one of my biggest supporters. Because I be saying that all the time. I'm like, yo, people really be wanting to be your friend, and they may not know how to go about it. But the point is that she became. I'm coming, Draco. Look, he coming to get me. I gotta go. Stop. Wait. I'm coming. I'm almost done. That you know, at the end of the day, we ended up becoming cool. She's been one of my biggest supporters here, and she is great. And it's like, yo, anything can be talked about. Anything can be talked about. And so the platform and everything is created to show y'all like these are things that happen and you should be able to talk about it. Everybody don't gotta get fight and get violent and unalive somebody. You can definitely just talk about it. You know what I mean? But the problem is you have to be able to get your emotions out of stuff to be able to talk about it. And clearly, you know, with this story and things that what I've learned and what I've seen is like, you know, his ego felt some type of way. His daughter was upset, you know, mission accomplished. Like we, you know, it was the issue that you put it up there. But at the end of the day, like we left it alone and we got the receipt showing that he sent the money back. So it's just one of those things where it's like, yo, you don't let your ego and your pride get in the way. Don't do that. Sometimes you have to sit and sit with your emotions, get past the emotions and say, once the emotions are gone out of it, you have to be able to say, okay, let me process this. Let me look at this. Wait, but wait, I'm almost done. You have to be able to process the emotions of it all and say, okay, well, what's the message here? What can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? Did I handle it right? You know, and things of that nature. And I was very good. And when that happened between me and that young lady, it let me see a shift within my platform. Like, okay, this is really good. You created something. I even had somebody coming to me and said that they wanted me to bring them on with their friend to see if they could talk about why the friendship ended because the friend no longer talks to them. I'm like, sure, but their friend wasn't with it. This is what it's for, you know, not the messy, trying to be messy. This tonight was not to be messy. I mean, the truth hurts, but there are times where the truth needs to be out there. Or I always say the truth don't need an explanation. The truth don't need no explanation. That's why it wasn't a continued thing. That's why nobody continued to make posts. That's why I didn't make a post. That's why I didn't go in an inbox and respond. Don't nobody really care. You know, it's not for entertainment. You wrong, you out of line. That's what it is. Leave it alone. It's left alone. Now hopefully your daughter feel like she won. Clearly she wanted to feel like she made a point because she unfriended the damn girl. Like, girl, you ain't make no point. You just unfriended the person you had a problem with. Shut up. But we have to just do better. You know what I mean? Everybody don't play. Whether somebody is dead or alive, everybody don't play about the people that they care about. And you can't get upset when people defend and show up for the people they care about. You know? But I'm glad I got to talk to you guys tonight about it. I'm glad that we got a message, and I hope you guys learned something out of it. Like Miss Goods Not Too Easy said, she learned that you don't be a fool, because the fool, when you argue with a fool, you never know who the fool is. So you can't do that. And this was good. And I had a great time with you guys. I've been on here for almost 2 hours. Make sure you share the show, rewind it. You can send stars. You can donate. You can go on the website and donate. Y'all know we trying to get a new desk, okay? And we are a family from a giant tree, reaching up to the stars. We are a family like a giant tree. We are heavily, or whatever she say. Heavy, heavy. You got so heavy, baby. Yeah, yeah. So I'm glad you guys are here. Make sure you guys share the show and be great. And don't argue with fools. And always make sure that you find a lesson and a message in any and everything that you do. Okay? And don't let people in society to tell you what is too far for you. And I will see you guys later. I will see you guys later. Night.